Hello, Royalers. Welcome to another great episode of Royal Black and Elite. Now, if you're anything like me, each night on Thursdays every week, I tuned in to something called The Cosby Show. Let's admit it, it was the first show nationally that was televised that depicted Black people as smart, who were intact as a family, and Dr. Huxtable and Claire having children. It was just a beautiful show. And everybody always could remember Theo, Mr. Theodore Huxtable. And he was one of my favorites too. He always was getting into something. And it was beautiful to see a young Black man just grow up and not have to deal with all of the crazy stuff that our young people are having to deal with today. So their family really depicted them as a beautiful, intact family. So I had planned on doing a lecture today, but after I saw this news, I had to come on and pay my respects to him and provide a lecture for him to honor his life because he truly was one of those ones that you never heard his name being ran down in the news. I mean, he was just a good guy from what we could tell, from the outside looking in. And this is truly a tragedy for his family, all the people I'm sure who worked for him. It just was so sad. I'm going to share some of the shows he was in, but there were far too many for me to cover all of them in this lecture. But I do want to point out the more notable shows that we know about and give him his honor and recognize him for the work that he has done. We pray that he rest in peace. Now, Malcolm was a New Jersey native. Hello, New Jerseyans. I've got friends in New Jersey. So, hello, New Jersey. And he was born in New Jersey City, in Jersey City on August the 18th, 1970. He was raised by his mother. Her name was Pamela, and she was his manager. And reportedly, he was named after Malcolm X and a jazz pianist. So that's how he got his name. His name was Ahmed Jamal. So that's how he got his name. Now, Malcolm had the acting bug from the time that he was young, and he was a graduate when he graduated from high school from the Professional Children's School in New York, New York. So his mother recognized his gift and put him in acting. And I can remember at times Bill Cosby talking about Malcolm-Jamal Warner and what great respect that he had for Malcolm. So I am more than sure that his passing will be a very, very devastating for him. He also played on this show for 8 years. So in 1984, that's the year that it started, he was 14 years old. And this was his first role, really major role. He landed Theo Huxtable. Heathcliff and Claire had this quirky son, and who could ever forget this shirt? This was hilarious. It reminds me of when I thought that I could make a prom dress for myself and it was a terrible mess. If it weren't for the mercy of my best friend's mother, because my mama said, "Girl, you can't make the dress, and if you mess up this material, I'm not going to buy you another one." And I was like, "Mom, I can do this. I can do this." It was not done. So this is my favorite one. Y'all put your favorite one that he was in because I tell you, I really enjoyed Theo. Just good, clean fun, a good, clean guy. So I really appreciate the vision of the Huxtables and the Cosby Show. Now he played Theo from 1984 to 1992. He also played as Hillary's boyfriend on The Fresh Prince of Bel-Air. He also played in Touched by an Angel in 1995. In 1994, and he also played as a Tuskegee Airman in that movie as well. So even after he left the Huxtables, he continued to work. And if I can recall, and if you can also, the shows that he was in, he always played a respectable part. And correct me if I'm wrong. Please put it down in below. I never saw Malcolm dressed as a female either. So he was really, like I said, just a stand up guy. Now, if you remember the show he played in with Eddie Griffin, I used to watch that show and it was so funny. I know Eddie probably is just heartbroken right now, but This show was on UPN. It was called Malcolm in the Middle, and it was on from 1996 to 2000. I didn't even realize Malcolm in the Middle was on that long, but I used to watch that show as well. He really he had a great career. Now he continued acting, and so from 2002 to 2004, he played in a show called Jeremiah, and he was even the voice on the Magic School Bus. Now, I don't know if you all remember this young lady, but I do. She played his girlfriend Justine, and she was ill. She was they found out that she had a rare form of cancer, and she passed away in 1998. And it is reported that Malcolm was right there by her side. So that was his girlfriend on the show and in real life, and he maintained a long-term relationship with her. Now, it was a long time after her. He dated another woman for like 7 years. And then from 2009 to 2011, he dated, excuse me, 2011 to 2013, he dated Regina King. But they were never married. I heard some reports that people were saying that they were married. They were never married, nor did they have any children together. Now, from 2009 to 2011, he played in that show Hawthorne. Jada Pinkett Smith also played in that show. That show really took a left turn, but that was a show he was in as well. Now, we most remember him for the show recently. Most of us, the young kids nowadays, if they know his face, if they didn't watch the Cosby Show, they knew him as Dr. A.J. Austin on The Resident. Do any of you watch The Resident? So he was on there, and he really had a blessed career throughout his life. In 2016, he played Al Collins on A People versus O.J. Simpson, and he won many, many awards. Again, he had a truly blessed career. He was married and he did have a daughter, but he chose to keep his family out of the public. So no one has ever seen a picture of them, or maybe if they have, they didn't know it was her or his child. And they said he was on vacation with his family, so they don't say in particular who those family members were. But I pray his wife and his child did not witness any of this stuff. I pray that they remembered him as the strong black man that we all knew. Mr. Theo, his name has been so many things throughout history in the parts that he has played. But we wanted to recognize him today as he passed away. He got caught up in a high current, and he was in Costa Rica. This story really also touched me because that's how my brothers passed away. They both drowned at the same time, and it forever changed our lives. And so I do pray for their family, his mom, if she's still with us, and his wife, his daughter. This is truly sad. So I really thank you for listening today to today's lecture. I know it didn't end on a high note. This is not good news. This is a sad, sad story. We lost a great one today, y'all. And we really have to honor these people really before they leave us also. So I'm going to start doing some more stories of people who are still with us today. Those great people who are also hidden and not talked about every day. Because, everybody knows Theo, but we didn't talk about him every day. So I thank you all for joining me for another great episode of Royal Black and Elite. If you have a husband, a son, a brother, a father, hug them today. Love on them today. And we thank God for all of the men. And I thank you for joining me. Now, click down below to continue to learn about our Black history. And thank you for hitting like, subscribe, and share. And leave your comments down below.